Hey everyone, welcome to WittCode, where in this video we're going to learn about the useRef React hook. So the useRef hook is a React hook that stores a value. When this value is updated, it does not cause a re-render. This is different from the useState hook, which causes a re-render when its value changes. The useRef hook can also be used to access and work with the DOM or document object model. To use the useRef hook, we simply import it from the React library. The useRef hook takes an initial value and returns an object with the key current, whose value is the provided initial value. So here we provide the useRef hook an initial value of 0 and assign it to the variable count. When printing the count variable down here, we can see an object with the key current and the value 0. And we can also see accessing this property here by count.current, printing out the value, which is 0. If no initial value is provided, then the current key is given the value undefined. So we can see down here an object with the property current and the value undefined. And this is because the variable myUndefined is given no initial value, and thus useRef returns an object with the key current and the value undefined. And now let's start to talk more about the useRef hook and re-rendering. So specifically, what useRef returns is a reference. When this reference is updated, the component is not re-rendered. To demonstrate this, let's create a button that increments the count reference when clicked. So here we can see our button has been rendered, and now let's see what happens when we click it. So what we can see is the new count value is logged to the console right here. However, the new count value is not displayed in the UI as no re-rendering occurs. If re-rendering was occur, we would see the count increase on this button because the UI would have updated. However, even when the component does re-render, the value from useRef is persisted. To cause our component to re-render, let's add state to it and change it. When a component's state changes, it is re-rendered. Now let's click our button again. And now we can see the UI is updating as the count variable is increasing each time. And of course, it's still being logged to the console. And this is because when we are changing the myBoolean value here, we set myBoolean to a new value, which causes the component to re-render as its state has changed. And now let's talk about the useRef hook and DOM element access, or document object model access. So the useRef hook can also be used to access DOM elements. To do this, we create a variable with useRef, and then we provide it to the ref attribute of a JSX element. For a demonstration, let's create a reference for our button element and change its color to red when it's clicked. So over here, we're just getting some TypeScript and Webpack errors, so let's just do a check real quick. Sweet, so we got that figured out. So now let's click our button here. We can see the count increasing and also that the button changed to a pretty ugly red color. And so just to clear this up, so as we are using TypeScript with React, we can see .tsx here. We need to provide a type, which is HTML button element, to useRef, similar to how we're saying the useState here is a Boolean. And TypeScript also requires us to pass an initial value of null during the initial rendering, which is why we provide null here. And this is because during the initial rendering, React hasn't created the component yet. And therefore, the initial value for a reference JSX element will be null. And as such, it is recommended to work with the reference from useRef either inside an event handler, like we are doing here with an onClick, this increment event handler, or inside the useEffect hook. But nevertheless, we can capture our button reference inside a variable called buttonRef, which we did right here. And when the button is clicked, we access the current property of the reference. In other words, basically just our button. And then we change its background color by using the style property, because this is essentially a button, which is an HTML element, which has a style property. And then from within that, the background color, and we just set it to red. And so to finish this video off, let's talk about when to use the useRef hook. So the useRef hook should be used when a variable needs updating, but updating the variable does not require a re-render of the component. In other words, using useRef is a good idea when we want to track a value, but we don't want to trigger a re-render. Remember, useState causes a re-render, while useRef does not. Therefore, using useRef as opposed to useState when a re-render is not required will increase efficiency of the application. And then just one final note is that updating a reference with useRef is synchronous, while updating state is asynchronous. But this was my video on the useRef React hook. I want to thank you for liking and subscribing today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good one.